What it do, what it do, what it do, y'all. I am so happy to finally be presenting you the podcast of the century, the year, the time, the hour, whatever you want to call it. Love My Dirty South podcast by yours truly. My name is Kiana, but I go by Sip. I'm your host, CEO, and entrepreneur, all that you want to call it for this here podcast. And basically, we're just going to be talking about moving from that down south area to a bigger city or a bigger metro area, whatever you want to call it, up north, west, east, whatever you want to say about it. We're going to be talking about how that transition made an impact in our lives, people from down south, okay? But before I go any deeper, basically, I want to classify what's down south. Like, what y'all think down south is? Because I really want to know. To me, personally, the deep south is going to be 3 states. I'm going to add in that fourth one. Y'all going to be mad at me because of where I'm at right now, but I'm going to add in that fourth one. We got Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, and we going to add in Atlanta, right? Because it's still culture south. But me being from Jackson, Mississippi, it was a lot of stuff that I had to learn, a lot of stuff that I had to adjust to move into a bigger area. It was a lot of stuff that I wasn't proud of that I had to do, a lot of stuff that I did to get done. But throughout all of that, I made sure that I still appreciated me being from down south. Like, a lot of people don't get it. Down south people are built different. And I'm going to just say that again. If you didn't hear me, for the people in the back, down south people are built different, okay? And so on this podcast, I just want you guys to tune in because each and every one of my guests, they're going to have a different story to tell. But all of it is going to be authentic. Nothing over here we sugarcoating. Not one thing is being sugarcoated. So everything on this podcast is just true, authentic, Southern self, right? And so I feel like nowadays a lot of podcasts aren't that. But this one is going to be that. So, like I said, we talking about down south. We talking about that childhood. We talking about things that we didn't ate. We talk about growing up. We talking about, some childhood trauma from being down south. Just the whole 9 yards because I feel like that's important. Like, not a lot of people are talking about it. And I appreciate me being down south. How I sound, but you may not sound how I pronounce words, but you may not pronounce words, right? So, I just want you guys to really tune in because we're going to be spitting some facts. Our facts is going to be some opinions you may not agree with, but it's going to be true and everything is going to be genuine. And so I just really wanted to build this platform to be a safe haven, for it to be a comfortable space for all my deep, dirty South people out there. I want you to know that you have somebody that's looking out for you, somebody that's going to speak on your behalf. And if you feel like you got something to say, bring your butt up here on this podcast. So, yes, the podcast will be on the platforms that's going to be on, but it's going to be called Love My Dirty South Podcast. You're going to see it on Instagram first. It's going to drop hot. And when I say hot, it's going to drop hot. We're going to have some really big guests on here. All these people that's going to be on this platform is down south only. So, basically, all the states that I mentioned earlier. And so, yes, we're going to be talking about some really good things. So, y'all get ready. Get your champagne, your glass, your wine, your chips, snacks, all that knick-knack stuff, all that good stuff. Get it ready, y'all, because when I say we dropping hot, we dropping hot. And so, I just cannot wait for you guys to tune in. Once again, this is Love My Dirty South Podcast with your girl, Sip, and y'all tune in. What it do, what it do, what it do, y'all. We are at our first episode with Love My Dirty South podcast by yours truly. Once again, my name is Kiana, but I go by Sip, and we have our first guest.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Shanna.
From New Orleans. Yes, I am so happy that you are my first guest.
I'm happy to be here. I'm like, okay, girl. I'm a girl power girl anyway,
Yes.
so I'm like, yes, let's do it.
So let's get into it, right? Because I
Let's
already
do it.
told our people about the Dirty South. So
Okay.
first up, I want to know first, what do you classify the Dirty South? Like, if you could just say some states, what you think the Dirty South is?
Well, definitely New Orleans, Louisiana.
Mhm.
You know the state, definitely Louisiana. Texas. I love Houston. Like, yeah, Houston. I would do Houston, and of course, Atlanta have that Dirty South thing or whatever. Other than that, girl, oh, that like Mississippi, you
Okay,
know,
because
yeah,
I
I
was
ain't gonna
thinking,
forget.
hold
No, I ain't gonna
on.
forget Mississippi. You know what I'm saying? Everything like Atlanta and then
Mhm.
down.
Yes. So what I told our people, I was basically just like, for me, the dirty South are the small bottom of the map states
Mhm.
that's still trying to thrive. So
Mhm.
I just classified 3 states and kept a buck. I said
Mhm.
Mississippi,
Mhm.
Louisiana, Alabama, and I said we could
Mhm.
slide in Georgia a little bit. We can
Yeah,
slide in
you know
Georgia.
why you have to slide in Georgia because they have that culture. Dirty
Mhm.
South is a culture. You know what
Yep.
I'm saying?
Mhm.
For
Yeah.
sure.
So we gonna dive right into it. We gonna dive right into it. So I want you to tell the people, how was your life growing up as a Southern belle from Louisiana? Like, let's talk about that.
Well, so like I'm from the Six Wall Lafitte projects that's in New Orleans, and honestly, I had the best childhood. Like honestly, because New Orleans has such culture, and I grew up with all my cousins. Like I'm literally at my aunt's house
Heavy
every
with the cousins.
yes, like sleeping at my grandma's house. Like I'm a family oriented
Mhm.
person, and that's what the South really is. Like we're real family oriented. That Southern hospitality, like all of that is
Mhm.
really good. And so my childhood, my growing up was really, really nice. I was only child.
Mhm.
So my mama and I are really, really close. So it's just like, you know what I'm saying? I had a really, really good childhood. Me and my cousins grew up like brothers and sisters. And then I moved to Atlanta and grew up.
Did your grandma play like a part in you, like growing up? Cause like my
hmm
grandmama, like she was in my life heavy.
Oh, absolutely. So like funny story, my mama didn't know she was pregnant with me until I was born.
Mm.
So and she was 17 at the time. So once I got here, my grandmother, she retired that day and like raised me and stuff like that while my
Mm.
mama continued to go to school. So my grandma plays a major role. I have her name on me and everything, like a major role.
Yes, I love it. So I want to talk a little bit more about your childhood
Okay.
because, like I said, like we don't appreciate a lot of stuff until we look
Mhm.
back on our life, right?
Mhm.
So I just want to know if you was how you think your childhood would have been different if you wasn't from Louisiana. Let's talk about that.
I feel like I would be more country.
Mm.
Yeah, I feel like I would be more country. Because I even see like a little Atlanta in me since I've been here and stuff, and I see like the difference. I think that like New Orleans really humbled me and grounded. I'm an extremely nice person. Like I go out, I give out to like homeless and stuff. Like I'm just that real nice, subtle, humble person. And I think that New Orleans really had a lot to do with that because growing up, you just be nice to everybody. That's what we're taught. You be kind. And a lot of people in other states, some of them not kind. Like they're not nice. They're not nice. And I think that if I was raised somewhere else, I don't know if I would have that niceness in me. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
Southern
Like that southern
hospitality. That's
hospitality,
exactly what it
literally,
is.
literally. So if I was somewhere else, I don't think I would have it as much as I do.
Yeah,
hundred
I
percent.
know a lot of people who don't even know what Southern hospitality is.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
well, and we say good morning. You to
Mm-hmm.
strangers walking by, you know what I mean? The neighbor watched us growing up, you know what I'm saying? Like we a real community, and I think that if I was somewhere else, it would not have been. I would not be this person. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
100%.
Let's talk about your like where you went to school at, cause it ain't nothing
Ooh,
like school, like going down south, like
yeah.
practices, out of school practice, hanging out with
So
your
I was a
people.
ballerina. Like I grew up doing ballet. Like my whole life,
Oh.
I did ballet all the way to college. But so I actually moved to Atlanta in '05, like right after Katrina.
Mm.
So I ended up graduating high school out here. Graduated from Tri Cities High School or whatever, yeah, Bulldogs,
Period.
And then I went to college in North Carolina. So it's so crazy because I have all that in me. You know what I'm saying? Because I was born and raised in New Orleans. I kind of jumped off the porch in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? And then I grew up in North Carolina. Like that's when you were an adult, you in college. Like I jumped off the porch in North Carolina. Love me some Greensboro. Shout out to Auntie. But yeah, so I ended up. But when I was in New Orleans, I went to elementary school. I went to Lafayette, which is the same school Wayne went to, and then across the river, I went to Boudreaux. That's like an elementary school, stuff like that. So yeah, but I really Atlanta, Tri Cities.
Mm-hmm. So you talked about Katrina, right?
Mhm.
So I want to know because I've heard some stories about a
Mhm.
family in Louisiana too. Your viewpoint about Katrina. How did it affect you? How did you
Ooh.
see it? Just tell a little bit about it.
Girl, so literally, I remember it just was like the worst time. You know what I'm saying? from the beginning of it to the end. Now I evacuated out here. Me and my mama was out here, and we couldn't find like my aunt, none of my family or anything. And I remember like just watching the news and all that. And one day we was me and my mom watching the news. We got a call from my aunt and found out they would swim to the Superdome and just seeing like the dead bodies and the homes. Like even when I still go home, like there's homes with X's still on them. That mean like bodies were found there and stuff like that. It was horrible. And I think what really made it worse is other people in the world made fun of it. Like, especially, so when I was living out here at the time, when all that was going on, it was really hard. Like, people used to be like, they wash your state away, and you know what I'm saying? All of that stuff like that. And it wasn't funny. You know, a lot of people lost their lives, and a lot of people lost everything. Like, my grandma, she lost her house. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My whole neighborhood is not back built, you know? Like, everything changed. Even the city now is still not all the way fully recuperated from that, you know? Like, everything was wiped out. And I don't know, it's just sad how people make fun of it, you know, like, because if something like that happened in the city of Atlanta, they'll be devastated. You know what I'm saying? They will be devastated. So it wasn't funny. And but it was a situation that I feel like a lot of people in the city became more grateful for the things that they do have, you know what I mean? Because we realized it could get taken away in a matter of a second, and they have no control over it. Like, that's God.
Yes, I feel you on that. So definitely you could say it caused some trauma with you, right?
Honestly, I wouldn't say like trauma, but I would say that I didn't expect to go through that like in life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It made me realize that I could lose my family. We couldn't find my aunt, we couldn't find my cousins and stuff like that. And then one day we just get a call and my aunt was on the phone. She's like, "Oh my God, I love you, I love you." And it's just like we got her out here in Atlanta, and then that was that.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So it just made me realize like I don't want to lose my family. So now I call them more and try to be more active in their lives, you know?
I love that. We need to sip that. We need to
Yes,
sip
yes,
this.
yes. Get some of this champagne.
Cheers to family, honey.
Yes. It's important. Oh, girl, my hands.
It's
sorry. Yes. Cheers. I love that. I love this here.
So let's just shift gears a little bit, because now we talked about trauma, but that's enough of trauma. You know what I'm saying? That's enough.
Let's do it.
I want to talk about kind of the expectations from being down south. Like, what do you think people expect you? Because, you know, we got our e-bunnies, like, we got how we talk, you know what I'm saying? And then some people, they make fun of us, you know what I'm saying? Too country. Or don't know how to do this.
It's so funny, right? Like, when people find out I'm from New Orleans, especially guys, the first thing they be like, "Oh, you could cook." I can't cook. Like, I cannot cook, okay? Just because I'm from New Orleans, I cannot cook. I was in ballet. I wasn't in the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? Like, so they be real disappointed. But, girl, they love my accent. Like, people love my accent. So
please tell them. For the camera, I want you to look at the camera and tell them, just say baby.
Oh my God, how I knew it was coming. I don't understand what's the thing with that, but baby, like, I don't know.
That sounds good.
And it's so funny because, like, I really never thought I had an accent until, like, you know, when I be doing, like, my shows and stuff, and I hear myself back on camera, like, oh my God, I sound like I'm straight from the bayou. Like, I'm just moved here yesterday. Like, it's crazy, but
it's okay. I'm the same way. Like, I know, like, some certain words I'll get mixed up on. I'm like, I be hearing myself like, damn, is I'm that country?
Am I that country? And then for me, oh my God, I talk lazy. Like, everything, like, I talk really, and I have, like, a calm persona, so especially when I'm relaxed, oh my God, girl, everything is just drawn out.
See, for us in Mississippi, I don't know. Like, I feel like I could speak on behalf of all our Mississippians. We talk fast.
Yeah.
Like, what you talking about? Like, we talk.
Y'all got that country slang. I like it though.
You like
I like it. It fits you. I love it.
So, let's talk about the transition coming to Atlanta. Let's talk about that. The people, the prices.
Oh my God, the culture, the food. You know, I'm a seafood girl. Like, all I eat is crawfish, shrimp, crab. Like, I'm a seafood girl. So when I first moved up here and found out they didn't have no crawfish, I was devastated. Like, really, I was devastated. And that was a real big transition, just the food, period. Because, you know, New Orleans, we good for our Cajun food. You know what I'm saying? So that was a real big adjustment. But also, like I said, just the people. The people, like, the kids, crew, like, you know what I mean? Just everything just just like goes back to that southern hospitality. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like we really are nice people. Like
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
people laugh when I say that, but I'm
Mhm.
like, no, we're really nice people. But also people expect me to be crazy because they feel like New Orleans people are like
I don't know.
menaces.
Voodoo.
Yeah. Like they think New Orleans people are like menaces, like always want to fight or like stuff like that. And I'm like, no, that's not me. So it's like those
Yeah.
misconceptions. But the biggest thing is, yeah, girl, the cooking and all that. Yeah. Mm-mm.
When you moved to Atlanta, because I know for me, when I left my home and I
Mm-hmm.
came to Atlanta, it was a lot of times I felt like I couldn't stay here by myself. It was a lot of times
Mm-hmm.
I felt like I wanted to go home. I wanted to be around my family, my people who understood
Mm-hmm.
me. Could you say the same thing?
Absolutely, and I actually did move back home.
You did.
I did. I'm moved out here, and I hated Atlanta at first,
Mhm.
and then and like I said, I grew up with my cousins. So coming out here, it was just me and my mama. So I was like, I'm going back. So I went home, lived with my cousins. But then New Orleans at the time didn't have many opportunities because it was trying to rebuild from Katrina.
Yep.
And I've always been like a real ambitious person. Like I never wanted to just live a regular life. You know what I mean? Anything
Yes.
like that. And unfortunately, Louisiana just didn't offer no opportunities. So that's when I came back out here and, you know what I'm saying, kind of just stayed out here, finished school. That's how I ended up graduating from Tri-Cities and stuff like that. The transition though is honestly it was really good. I
Mhm.
can't see Atlanta has been really really good to me. I can't say that. It's
Yeah.
just an adjustment with the people.
Yes, heavy with the
It's
people.
just the people. It's the people, but that's why goes back to talking about my grandmother and family oriented and stuff like
Mhm.
that. The all of those qualities are real deep in me, you know. And
Yes.
so it don't matter. Even when I lived in North Carolina, I still had the same persona because it's in me. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
it's
It's
in
what they
you.
say is in me, not on me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna always be. You can't shake that.
Yeah,
You really can't
it's
shake
in
that.
me. It's in me.
So we talking about better opportunities because I feel the
Mhm.
same way. When I say it wasn't nothing for me in Mississippi,
Mhm.
like growing up, a lot of my friends passed away at an early age. When I say
Mhm.
Mississippi was on a up there as far as the homicide, like
Mhm.
being number two
You know why?
behind
Cause they be acting like
Birmingham.
that. Cause even in New Orleans, like it seemed like at the time when the crime rate was high, because they don't have nothing to do.
Mm-hmm.
But if you give people opportunities, and we could talk about that because that's like government and all that, you know. But if you give people opportunities and give them something to look for, it take away the crime, it take away the drama, because now people have something positive to put their time and energy to. When you're not giving people jobs and minimum wage is low and
Mm-hmm.
nobody hiring, what do people do? They go out, they rob, they steal, and they get into nonsense. You know, they
Exactly.
don't have nothing else to do.
Exactly. And I feel you on that. And so that's why I just feel like when I made my transition to Atlanta, I knew it was better for me. And I
Mm-hmm.
knew I had to suck it up and just kept pushing. But
Mm-hmm.
it was just still a thing in the back of my mind, just like, dang, can I really do this? Like, can I
Mm-hmm.
really shift
Mm-hmm.
me being from this small
Small.
area,
Mm-hmm.
having like a small mind, but wanting to broaden it because I know I'm
Mm-hmm.
not used to certain stuff, you
Mm-hmm.
know? So I wanted
Absolutely.
to, yeah. So I wanted to talk about like the generation now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how do you think the generation in Louisiana is like now? Like the babies growing up.
Oh my God. So
You think
much
it's
better.
like better?
Definitely so much better because now New Orleans, especially just the city of New Orleans, a lot of black entrepreneurs are there and they
I
are
love it.
thriving.
I love
They
it.
are thriving. I mean, oh my God, we have Super Scent with her crayon case.
Yeah.
We have Black Smoke, with the hookah pens. Oh my God, we have Keith Carroll. You might don't know who he is, but the funniest guy in New Orleans, and they just provide an opportunity. They're doing things for the kids, like Toya. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like they're doing things for the kids, so it's completely different now. And
Mhm.
I can appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? I definitely
Yeah.
appreciate that. I see kids like in sports, these little boys. I see girls and dancing and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Just doing stuff for the community is definitely better, definitely. And I always say, like, when I make my big money and all that stuff like that, I would definitely want to go back to my hometown and just community service, just everything, because I'm from there. And
Exactly.
I, the same like you, when I first moved here, I was like, what my little self is gonna do in this big city of Atlanta. Atlanta was like a Hollywood to New Orleans,
Oh,
so I was
heavy
like,
on that.
I was like, what I'm gonna do out here? It's so much competition out here, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Especially even with like growing up and just getting older and getting into journalism. So many opportunities are here and the competition is here. If I was in New Orleans, I probably would have been on radio. You know what I mean?
Lord, I felt that. I
Yeah.
felt that.
If I was in New Orleans, I probably would have been on radio. But out here, it's harder because it's more competition, So,
Yeah.
but yeah, the kids are definitely, New Orleans is definitely doing better now with that, 100%.
And I feel that. And so you were speaking about competition. So you feel like
Mm-hmm.
if it was back at home, like the competition wouldn't be nearly as it is in Atlanta.
Absolutely. And not to say that there's not talent and all that stuff out there. I just know that I wouldn't be a small fish in a big city there. I
Yeah.
would be a big fish.
Period. Big dog.
And that's humbly speaking. I would be a big fish, you know, because it's not everybody not getting into the industry.
Yeah.
So that's just that. But out here, everybody want to shine.
Everybody famous.
Everybody famous.
I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all finna attack me, but everybody in Atlanta famous.
But you know what, though? I can't knock it. A lot of people out here have motion.
Oh, definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
When we talk about motion, first of all, let's get into these 16, 15-year-olds.
Yes, with business.
Apartments, though. Like the apartments.
I can't hate on it. I can't hate on it. I can't hate on it. They doing their thing.
It's hustling.
And honestly, it keep me on my toes. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm 28. And I'm like, wait, this girl younger than me and she driving a Benz. You know what I'm saying? But it's all in your timing. And like I said, it just give you that motivation. Because like even if I was home, I probably wouldn't have the motivation because I don't have people around me on that level. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So being out here, it keep you on your hustle. It keep you motivated. And you be like, I'm not about to let these little girls just, you know, like... No, but it's a lot of competition out here. 100%. It's a lot of talent out here too. So that's why, you know, there's a lot of people good at what they do. 100.
Let's speak about friendships. So did you have like, you know, your day ones back at home that you still talk to today?
Honestly, no. Honestly, no. I was always with my cousins. Like I was always with my cousins. And even when I did have friends, but when Katrina hit, we lost contact. And it's just never picked back up or anything. So as far as friends, I don't even really have friends in New Orleans. It's all family.
Yeah.
All family, girl. I don't have no friends out there.
What about the relationships you built down here?
Amazing. I've made relationships with some really, really good people.
I love that for you.
Like, I must say, like I said, Atlanta has been good to me. And but it's also who I am. Like, I'm a person, I fit in any room. You know, I can go kick it with the hood. I can go kick it in the high rise with the bougie people. You know what I'm saying? I can fit in anywhere, you know? And that's played a part on me making really good relationships. And I've made some really good friends. I've met, you know, some really good guys, some not good guys. But
we're not even going to talk about that.
Okay, but Atlanta been good to me.
Okay, y'all. So we got some snacks on this table. Okay, now it wasn't everything, y'all, but I basically just wanted to have just like a little memorable moment of just maybe some stuff that I grew up on that I possibly thought that Shanna had when she was a child or whatever. Maybe she still eat them. I don't know, but we're gonna find out today. Okay. So we got some pork skin, some sunflower seeds, some Twinkies.
That's some real country stuff.
Yeah, some real country stuff. Cause I really want to give it to food. Please, you know, name the top 3 stuff.
Ooh.
Top food that a lot of people think that you would eat just because you country, but you know for a fact you're not touching it.
Girl, I don't eat chitlins. I don't eat no chitlins. I don't eat all that. And you want to know something? I don't eat oysters. Like, a lot of people think that I eat oysters because it's a part of that whole seafood family. I don't eat oysters. I think that texture is disgusting.
I don't even want to try it.
Like, who eats raw oysters? Anyway, but yeah, so oysters, chitlins, and what else do people assume that I eat? Oh my God, they just be naming all type of stuff. I mean, oh my God, beignets. Now, I like beignets.
Person, so
I like beignets, but they too sweet for me sometimes. Okay. They too sweet, and I don't like all that powder be getting everywhere. So, but people be thinking like, you know, I be like, listen, it's because it's a tourist food. When people go to New Orleans, they go to Cafe Du Monde, you know, so they think that that shit too. I mean, that stuff too.
say how it is. Look,
that's too sweet for me.
Please say how it is, because you're not getting me to eat no chitlins. I don't give a damn if you put a hot sauce on it, barbecue sauce, any kind of. I'm not eating no.
They probably think since you from Mississippi, you like hog mogs and stuff.
Girl, how you from the country in Mississippi, baby?
I don't want to eat no whole pig. Oh, you want to know something? I don't eat alligator. I don't eat alligator.
I'm finna try that.
I don't want to try that. Like, why you want to eat an alligator? Like, What? I don't be with all that, girl. Mm-mm. But see, I'm a real picky eater, though.
Mm.
I'm very, very picky. Like, there's a lot of things. I'm like, I don't eat ketchup, mustard, mayonnaise.
Oh, you
I
pick.
don't eat none of that, girl. I eat like a bird. Like,
Yeah.
no.
Okay, so to wrap everything up,
Okay.
I definitely we talked about a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about your childhood, we talked about, a little trauma, we talked about the transition. But I wanted to also go into the fact that you moving and everything, like if you could just say something significant or just say like what really made you of everything, like what you could say about that, like your whole transitioning from moving from a deep down south area to a metro city. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Like, kind of what it, how it's all in me.
Yes, like how it's all in you, how did it, open up doors for you, where you
Yeah.
at? Let's talk about where you at now.
Yeah. Okay. So, like I said, Atlanta has been really good to me. I can't take that away. I've met really good people. I've had really great opportunities. Like, even with me doing my media thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've met so many good people that genuinely want to see me win, like support all that good stuff and accept what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, acknowledging and stuff. I always say the three cities that I lived in: New Orleans, Atlanta, and then North Carolina. Right? Born and raised in New Orleans, that gave me all my humbleness. That gave me all that that's in me. Atlanta gave me that motivation, that hustle. It opened my eyes to, wow, a different lifestyle. North Carolina, I gained my independency because that's college. You know, I'm not by my mama. I had to figure out how I'm gonna eat every day. I gained my independency. So now the woman that I am today is filled with all of that. You know, I'm this humble girl, this down kick it girl, but I'm also like Hollywood a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I have those moments where I could be like that, and then I'm very, very independent. I do everything on my own, and all I can take away, all three cities have put that in me. You know what I'm saying? I can't put one over another. Even with me being from New Orleans, Atlanta has been good to me, like, and I can't even see myself living anywhere else. Honestly, I wouldn't even move back home because now it's just Atlanta. Yeah. It's been good.
I love that for you. I love it.
I love it.
Tell the people where to follow you, how to keep up with you, what you doing now. Like, let's just talk to them, girl.
Okay, so you guys can follow me on Instagram at @therealshanna_. And I actually just started my own media company, SNH Media Group. Okay. Yes, girl, trying to do big things. Yes. Because I recently, like, I've been on like this journey lately of self-discovery, and I realize it's just so much better if I'm just driving my own career. I feel like there's been so many times where I was always the talent and putting other people on. Yeah. And you know what I'm saying? And it's like, I wasn't seeing it benefit for me. So now I'm driving my own career, starting my own company, just doing my own thing and having my own vision. And that is the best thing. So I'm working on SNH Media Group. It's going to be a app, a network where you can catch all of my interviews. I'm working on like trying to executive produce some other shows, get it on the app, get it on the network. Like just that whole I want to build an empire. You know what I mean? Like, yes. I want an empire. I'm tired of, I've worked in the corporate world, trying to follow my mama's dreams. She wanted me to be this corporate girl, but I never could stay in a corporate job. I always got fired for some reason. So, and then media and journalism and all of that, that's always just been my passion. I have a journalism degree. You know what I mean? So it's always been here. And I just want to build this media empire. And then I'm going to sell it and retire.
You heard that. Ain't no wrong with sitting back and chilling.
Okay, that's the plan. So yes, you guys follow me on Instagram, @therealshanna_. And just check out SNH Media Group and everything that's coming out with that. My interviews, other shows, and you're just gonna get used to seeing the name Shanna everywhere. And that's just period.
Well, there y'all have it. Thank you so much for tuning in on my very own podcast.
Cheers! I love. First of all, I have to salute you because you could tell that you're putting in quality. Yeah. You thinking about your content. You thinking about it, and you do your thing, girl. I'm here for it. I'm honored to be the first guest.
Follow my girl Shanna on all platforms.
Yes. Y'all check me out on Instagram, @therealshanna_. I'm also on TikTok, @therealshanna_. And y'all just look out for SNH Media Group everywhere. Interviews, other shows I'm executive producing. Just get used to saying that name, SNH Media Group.
Y'all heard my girl. Get used to seeing her, y'all.
Period.
Thank you so much for tuning in on my very first episode with Love My Dirty South podcast.
Yeah.
We had a great talk, y'all. We talked about a lot of good things, and I'm so happy that we did. We're gonna tune into some more stuff, y'all. Don't forget to continue to follow the Instagram Love My Dirty South. Check it out on YouTube when it drop. It's gonna drop hot. It's gonna drop hot.
Yes.
So yes, keep it up, y'all. And thank you so much for tuning in. Peace.